Hello, everyone, and welcome to our reading today. We are doing an Archangel Oracle card reading. This is just a reading for your daily guidance to see what it is that you can do to help you on your journey to stay positive and aligned and productive in good spirits. So, thank you for joining me. Let me know in the comments how you're doing. I love hearing from you guys and knowing like where you are, how the message relates to you, and how everything is working out. So today we have teaching and learning. So Archangel Zadkiel, keep an open mind and learn new ideas. Then teach these ideas to others. So you are being guided to really think about what you are pulled to. And I teach online and I tell my students all the time, do what you truly love doing because that is where you're going to excel. I know lots of times people will become doctors because their families are all doctors. But what if the person wants to become an artist? Or what if the person wants to be a singer or do something completely different like fly an airplane or something? Like sometimes we have the tendency of being directed to what we are supposed to do because that is what's expected of us as far as like traditions and things like that. But I always tell my students, regardless of what you're being directed to do, always try to do and follow the path of your heart. So whatever it is that you truly love doing. So for some from people like you might be a doctor, but then maybe you enjoy rock climbing or skydiving. So this is like reminding you that you can do more than one thing. You don't have to give up the love of what you enjoy doing to do something else. Try to see if you could balance some extra time in there to do things. I know some people, like they have a job, say, for example, like they're an engineer, but they always wanted to learn how to fly. So in their spare time, they take flying lessons, right? So, like, if you cannot do exactly what it is that you want to do, then teach and learn and then teach like what it is that you truly would like to do in your heart space and then do your job or whatever it is on the side because you never know how the universe is going to use what you're doing to change your life. That's the thing. Like um you could get into a job of doing something and never think that it's going to go anywhere. But the skills that you learned in that job can help prepare you for your dream job, right? So never doubt what the universe can do for you, creator can do for you, and never doubt what you can do for yourself, right? Don't give up on where you're at. Use where you're at to help fuel where you want to be. We have chakra clearing, Archangel Metatron. Call upon me to clear and open your chakras using sacred geometric shapes. Okay, so you are looking at ways to clear out your chakras or your energy, like um, your energy points in your body. And there are more than just your main chakras. Many people think that it's just the main colored chakras. That's not true. There's a lot of chakras. Your feet, your hands, um like there's chakras all over your body. So clearing out your chakras can have a lot to do with stagnant energy, pain. You sometimes people have like what they call like phantom pain. They have pain throughout their body and they don't even know really where it comes from. They've had multiple tests and everything is showing that there's no real reason why you would be in pain. And a lot of times it is because you need to clear out your chakras. It's because you're storing unhealed trauma. If you have severe trauma, if you've been through trauma and you haven't really processed it and healed it, it will stay in the physical form within your body. And then that physical form can come out in different ways, such as headaches, um, nightmares, sleep issues, eating issues, pain, just rash. Some people get like a rash. Like it's undescribable, like the amount of side effects that can happen with unprocessed trauma. Like it can really cause a lot of problems. And so a lot of times when you clear out your chakras, uh, that's when you start to release, physically release the tension that you're holding on to and things like that. Like I've seen people have high blood pressure, and once they work on their chakras and they work on releasing like the trauma that they have stored from childhood or from an experience or something like that, their blood pressure, they end up having no more blood pressure problems because subconsciously their body was holding that energy, that trauma in like a chakra area throughout the body. And so as you begin to clear those situations, those energetic cords to, a certain situation, person, um, place, it really begins to heal your body. Like sometimes we just don't really look at how our body truly is an amazing machine that can hold on to things and transform things in so many different ways. So you are receiving a brilliant idea. Archangel Uriel says, yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action to bring your idea to fruition. Fruition. I can't pronounce that word, fruiton. So basically, take the steps that you need to take to make your idea successful. Right? You want to take the steps that you need to take. So if you are, say you're writing a book about the trauma that you've experienced and the people and the situations around you and the people that have played a part in like, keeping everything going quiet and making sure that nothing that they did was seen or heard or all that kind of stuff. Say you're making a book about it, right? You want to make sure that you do the little things, like take the notes, the documentations, put everything like kind of in order where it needs to go and how you need to make sure that it's set up correctly, right? You might want to make sure you document your dates. Use a backup system so in case something happens, you don't have to like start your book all over again. You kind of got it, uh, saved on a backup system as well. And then like you want to like check in with different publishers maybe, or you might want to go to Amazon and start looking at publishing your book and how you're going to publish. If you want to be like a self publisher, or if you want to go to a publisher, and have it professionally published, just that's just an example. Or like if you're making art, you might want to find an expedition that you can participate in and you can display your art. Sometimes just taking that first step to actually get your idea going, that's the real thing. Like I know someone who is really like wanting to move to the beach, right? So if you want that idea to happen, you might start like making a picture board where you have like your favorite beach house that you would like to have on the picture board. And then you might start putting beach items around your office or where you spend a lot of time to just kind of like pull in that energy. You can also go to the beach and stay in a place that you would really like to stay, right? And all you're doing is telling the universe, this is what I want. This is what I'm looking forward to. This is where my heart is set. This is my dream, right? And then the universe says, okay, this is the energy and the frequency that I'm receiving. What can I do to reciprocate that, right? So what you put out is like what you get in, right? That is almost like, whenever you look up something on the internet, on like Chrome or something or Google, and then you go to like your Facebook or TikTok or something, and you might end up seeing a commercial or an advertisement of the thing that you just looked up, and you're like, oh, here we go, the algorithm, tracking me. But the universe works the same way. If you if you're angry and you're hateful and you're bitter, you're going to bring that energy back to you. You're going to put it out and it's going to come back to you. If you're trying to make an idea and you're trying to make it work and you're thinking, "Oh, it's never going to work. This is a terrible idea. I don't know why I'm doing this." Everything you do is going to fail. But if you have that idea of I want to do this. What can I do to help get me into that energy more and more and more? Then you're kind of just, you're like the Google and the internet kind of thing, right? So you got to make sure that if you have a brilliant idea, you got to make sure you're acting upon it. You're confident about it. You have your facts and everything set up to where you're doing the initiative to put everything in order, right? You got to write down what it is that you truly want to get in the end result, right? If you want that beach house, then how are you going to get it? Start looking at realtors and places. Start doing your homework. What beach is the best or the safest beach to get a house at, right? You don't want to purchase a house on the beach because it's really really cheap and then find out the following year that all of those houses have been condemned because the ocean is supposed to swallow the house up in like 6 years, right? Like I heard that that happened somewhere. So, like, you want to make sure you're doing your homework. You want to make sure that you are really looking into what it is that you want to do and how you want to do it and how you want to make it successful and productive. That's the goal. When it comes to a brilliant idea, the universe will support you, but you also have to have everything ready for yourself. Like you have to make sure that you are doing the work as well because it's teamwork. It is the universe working with you to help you to reach your goals, right? So what you give out is what you give back. So it's you have to have like an equal exchange. So this one was already flipped. So we'll do this one. Clairvoyance. Archangel Raziel, I am helping you spiritually, spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. So clairvoyance. So this comes in when it comes to like sleeping. You might be sleeping and you might get very clear visual dreams of what it is that is going on or where your direction needs to go. You might also get downloads when you are, just sitting there doing nothing. A thought might come into your head. Something that you never even would be thinking of on your own could come into your head, reminding you of something else that's going on or showing you something else that needs your attention, right? So clairvoyance is a knowing. It's almost like what they call downloads. You'll hear lots of people say, "Oh, I got a download," or "I'm getting a download." That's the clairvoyance. Like you're picking up on. It's almost like say you are the radio and the dial can be turned to many different stations. You know how like say like whenever you are sitting there many many years ago, um, for example, you would turn the dial until you got to the station that you wanted. But while you were on the way to that station, you would hear like all the other stuff coming through. That's kind of like the whole clairvoyance. Like you are just picking up on different signals, different things coming into your energetic field, right? And so it will also help you to know which direction to go in. It'll help guide you with your brilliant ideas, right? It'll help you to understand what it is that you are being supported by. So, say you want to uh, pursue a career in acting, right? But you're not really an actor. So, you might start getting ideas on making TikTok videos, or you might start getting an idea on doing a stand up act, or doing something where you play an instrument, online or in a like a stand up place where like it's like open mic kind of thing. Just different things that kind of build your confidence and to build your ability to stand in front of cameras and to just kind of like start to understand things. You might watch YouTube videos to understand what it's like to be a beginner actor and things like that, just so that when you are ready and the door opens, you are already stepping into that energy of being able to do that. Right. So I know like a lot of people, they have told me that like whenever they wanted to be an actor, like I follow a couple of them on different platforms, and like they would start out just making like family videos, or they would start out making videos of themselves doing something, and then that would kind of like help them get over the camera shy or the judgments of other people and things like that. And so, like, there's little things that you can do, and that would be like your clairvoyance coming in and directing you onto what to do next, how to make this happen, right? How to open this door so that you can step through successfully, right? And have what you want. So, the moon cycles, Archangel Haniel, notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestation, and capitalize upon these cycles. Okay, so I always tell people the moon, I'm not a real big moon person. I know people say, "Oh, well, you can do this underneath the full moon and that underneath the full moon," and the moon is a frequency, and how you use that frequency depends on how it's works in your life, right? So you can set the intention to clear away negative energy. You can set the intention to heal your heart. You can set the intention to protect your family from situations. Um, but I know like some people they have a different way of using it. I always tell people when you are using energy, energy is energy. So when you are using it, whether it's moon cycles, the moon cycles are like um, different phases of the moon hold different frequencies. It's almost like having your cell phone, and then certain places you go, you have certain connections. Right? One connection might be stronger versus going somewhere else. It's kind of like that. Like you have this like Wi-Fi frequency with the moon. Okay, like think of it like that kind of a source, right? So like if you're in a bad mood, then it could amplify your bad mood. If you are in real good energy and you want to raise your energy and you want to like let go of things that are bringing you down, you can use the moon phases to help you to kind of cleanse your energy, to just kind of like let go of the tension. You know how they say like animals go crazy on full moons, and this happens on full moons, and people have like the worst accidents on full moons. It's a frequency. It's just, excuse me, it's just the way their body is responding to the frequencies that the moon is putting off into their environment, right, into their settings. So I have my own personal like stories about the whole full moon and things like that. So I know it's interesting. Take it how you resonate with it when it comes to the moon cycles. Again, it's interesting to do some you might want to do some research on the moon. I would recommend doing like research on the history of before the moon and then the history of the moon whenever it came, because there is a part in history where the moon didn't exist and then it was kind of brought in, and that part of history is kind of like left out. They don't really let you know a whole lot about it. You have to seek it yourself, but there was a part in history where the moon was not there, and then the part where the moon was brought in. Um, and it's really interesting to research. And then you can see like, the whole understanding of the moon and the phases of the moon and how it um, interprets your energies and things like that. So I would let that up to you because I have my own views of like the whole moon cycles and things. So just be really aware of your energy. Some people are very sensitive. On a full moon, some people may not want to go out and do things if they're struggling with a lot of things, right? If you have anger issues or frustration or things like that, you just might want to watch yourself on certain times, because I know they say like it seems like certain people can be more sensitive to certain frequencies and energy and things like that. So, healthy lifestyle. Archangel Raphael, eat a healthful diet, get adequate sleep, and exercise regularly for optional health. Okay, so a healthy lifestyle is absolutely important. Like, you definitely want a healthy lifestyle when it comes to working out the things that you want to work out in your life, right? If you are wanting to clear out your chakras, the more healthier you are, the easier your body is to work through all that stagnant energy, right? When you are able to work on your chakras and clear out your chakras and really get your mind and heart flowing in like a balanced energy, right? It helps to bring in higher frequencies and higher downloads of who you are, where you want to go, self-love, seeing yourself in a happier state of being, and your body really responds to that energy. And a lot of you will you'll just automatically gravitate towards healthier eating because it's something that your body knows you deserve. And when you raise your self love for yourself and your self respect for yourself and things like that, then your body wants to be healthy. Your body wants to take care of itself. And so it's very common to start noticing that not only will you pick better foods, but you also might pick better situations, better jobs, better company, right? It like that can end up going clear across your whole life, right? A healthier lifestyle, yes, it can be very much food oriented, but usually it trickles into wanting to declutter your home, wanting to find people that resonate with you, people that understand where you're coming from without making you feel like you're doubting yourself and you're not good enough, and laughing at the things that you do whenever you feel guided by source, by your heart to do these things. So you might need to start looking into people who truly resonate and with your energy and motivate you to be the best person that you can be. So for example, you might go out with a group of friends and you might find yourself sitting there at the table looking around at each person and realizing that you no longer fit into that category anymore. You no longer resonate with that environment anymore. And so the next time they want to go out, you make an excuse that it's no, sorry, I'm busy, I'm unable to, and it's just because you are in that healthy lifestyle. The universe is showing you what you truly deserve and what no longer fits you anymore. That lifestyle might have fit you when you were like in your 20s, maybe teens. But now that you're older and you're more mature and you're starting to make better decisions and you know, you might not you might not resonate with that lifestyle at all anymore, right? You might decide that that is not who you want to hang out with. That's not the life that you want to have, right? Um, Another, part of that could just be the universe stepping in and removing people for you to protect you because the universe can see what you don't see, and sometimes that happens. And that is a part of a healthy lifestyle. So let the things go, let the people go, let the situation go. And our closing card is spiritual understanding. So again, we have Archangel Raziel. I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. Okay, so this card is all about receiving. Again, this could be downloads in your sleep. It can be information that's coming in like right after you question something. You might be seeing different kinds of symbols on different things. Maybe it's on like items that you see online. It could be symbols that are on. I know some people told me like they saw symbols like on people's cars and things like that. But some people see symbols in many different ways. So I'm not going to like get into detail like on where these symbols can be. Like you could see them in countless places, right? But you'll know what they are because they'll resonate with you. Three people can look at the same picture and each person can see something different, right? So you might see a symbol in a picture and the two other people might see a picture of something, but you are able to see the symbolism in it, or you're able to understand something. So that's what this is. It's a spiritual understanding, right? So like, don't doubt what you receive. Don't doubt your downloads. Don't doubt your understandings and your messages. I see this happen so many times, and people get online and like they'll get a download and then they'll get online and then they'll share it And then everybody's like, oh, no, 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 that's not what that is. That's this, that's that. And then it completely undoes everything that spirit is trying to communicate. So many times we say, oh, I just, you sit down and you pray and you want answers to your prayer. And then whenever you get the answers, you doubt yourself. And then you go ask somebody else and they're like, oh, no, it's this, this, and this. And then you take that whole entire message and you just discard it. Right. So I really recommend not doing that. Like I see it all the time, especially in these like spiritual groups on Facebook. It's really interesting. Like these people will get into these spiritual groups and they will post a picture and they're supposed to be in there with people that support them. But unfortunately, there's a lot of like like trollers. I think they're called trollers in there. Like they're not really a part of the group to be a part of the group. They're in there to make people believe the opposite of what the group is even for. So, a person will go in there and they will post in the spiritual group because they feel safe. They feel like they can post here and people get them. And where maybe their own friends, family, or regular, people like they don't. People that they met on their friends group, whatever, like they don't get them. So they'll post in the spiritual group, and then somebody will come along and completely undo that their whole thinking process. And this is one of those cards where I tell you to have discernment. When you see symbols, when you see signs, have discernment. You might not want to share everything that comes in with others. It's okay to keep stuff to yourself. It's okay to ask spirit if that message was correct, and to give you like a reassurance or an understanding that you're hearing it well, because spirit is working with you. Spirit isn't working with everybody else, right? Spirit's working with you. So if you get a message and you think it's a message, just simply ask for confirmation. You can speak, you can say, wow, I don't know what that means, or I feel like that was a message, but can you help me understand what that was for, because I'm not really sure I know. And the thing is like your higher self always knows what the message is. It might just take you a while in this physical lower energy to understand that you already knew. But like sometimes you see things, right? And you look right at it, you see it, and you don't pay no mind to it. And then like you're not really sure, you just saw it and you dismiss it. But then, like, 2 weeks later, it makes sense. What you saw that you just kind of like blew off then makes complete sense now. And that's what we're talking about here is like sometimes you will see something and it'll make absolutely no sense. Um, and then maybe you're meant to see it first before it becomes clear why you saw it. And all that does is just make you more attentive, so that the next time whenever you get a message, you know that that was a message, and you need to keep your mind eyes aware, right? You know that you are receiving something to support you, and you need to be more attuned with your surroundings, right? So when we have this spiritual understanding of things, it really helps us to let go of fear, let go of control, worry, anticipation, anxiety, stress, right? Because you know that you are divinely protected, and you know that everything's going to work out in divine timing, and that you don't want to push things. You got to learn to be patient and just trust that you are at the right place. And as long as you're showing up daily, doing what you need to do to learn and keep an open mind, then everything else is going to flow from that, right? Everything else is going to work itself out from that point on. So I hope this reading has helped you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you in the next one, and have a great day. Bye.